Alright, YouTubers, third set time. Getting ready to start here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is July versus Yellow on Return of the King. Epic ZVZ goodness coming your way. Since this is a 4-player map, it's going to be very important where the overlords go, and I think they're both going up, so we are going to have a late scout for both. Down here at the 5 o'clock position in orange, we have Yellow. Orange is a little bit closer to Yellow this time. And over at the 8 o'clock position in green, we have July Zerg. Getting a bit closer to July, but it's not quite there yet, so I don't think he can dominate everyone just yet. I think he plays better in the hot months. I think he's said this in an interview as well, because it's hotter. A lot of players like to wear gigantic coats in their booths, because the hotter they are, the warmer their fingers will be. And basically, if your fingers get cold, you lose StarCraft, because there's just no feeling there and you can't get at it. And fingers get cold quickly when you're hitting buttons on a computer at about 400 APM. I should try it sometime. The blood just leaves your fingers. And looks like, yeah, both players are going to get a very late scout. Looks like Yellow is going for his spawning pool, and July might be getting an overpool, or he might be going for a 12 pool or a 12 hatch. He is not getting the 9 pool like Yellow is here. And Yellow is going for his gas as well. So it looks like he's going for a speedling build to start out with. He's going to try to put on a lot of pressure here. Looks like we're going to see another fast and fun ZVZ. And we'll see if July has improved his ZVZ at all, because the last time he played Yellow, he was just behind in everything. The spawning pool coming down, so it looks like a 12 pool here for July. Actually, technically a 9 pool, because he was pumping those other drones, but whatever. Semantics. And July is finally sending over his overlord to the right direction. Well, one of his overlords to the right direction. Both players are probably going to make the switch up there at the 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. They're going to see that there's no creep, and they're going to turn away and try to go another direction. And July's putting down his hatchery here, so he's going to try to keep and hold an expansion here. If he does manage to hold it, I think he'll probably take the game. That's just the way it goes in ZVZ. If you can get your expansion up and get that economic advantage and hold it, you've pretty much won the game, because the other player will only be working from 1 hatchery, while you're working from 2 and mining from 2 bases. So that's a major deal. So it'll be up to July to defend this with Zerglings. I'm sure he has some pumping right now. He's definitely going to need them, because Yellow is incoming with Zerglings. He doesn't quite know where July is, so he's going up to the 10 o'clock position, actually. He's sending a couple of Zerglings, I think. Maybe 1, maybe 2 Zerglings to the 8 o'clock base as well. 1 Zergling. So he does get the scout here, and he's going to bring his other Zerglings back. But I think it's a little bit too late now. I think July is going to have enough Zerglings out there to cope. And, I think there's going to be some damage taken to his hatchery here, because both players have an even number of Zerglings out here, and July is bringing in a couple of drones, I think, try to get a bigger military advantage here, throwing in a couple of drones to take some hits. And Yellow's trying to pick at this hatchery. He's going to try to take this hatchery down. He might be able to do it if he can throw in a lot more Zerglings here. He is rallying some more Zerglings to this point. The hatchery is bleeding. It's at yellow now. It's not quite at red, so July's not quite down yet. July is attacking here with all of his Zerglings and his drones. He has a couple of drones here. And, oh, Yellow does a nice sneak into the main there. And July actually has some Zerglings there to meet him, so that attack doesn't quite work out for him. And he wasn't able to take out the hatchery, even though he got it down to about half health. So now July is just chasing Yellow back to his base so he can hold his natural expansion here. A couple of Zerglings out here, and July is running back, going to try to stop some drone harassment from happening. The hardest part about holding a natural expansion in a ZVZ is pretty much trying to fend off the Zergling run-bys until you can get your own spire up. And I think there's a sunken colony coming up for Yellow and his spire, so he is teching faster, but he's going to be economically behind if he can't stop July's base from coming up here. July isn't mining from that base yet, but he has 2 hatcheries. He's going to be able to pump from these 2 hatcheries and eventually get his spire up to compete with Yellow's spire. Yellow has stopped mining gas here, so he might be trying to get out more Zerglings to cope here with the amount of Zerglings that July has in here. July is going in with a ton of Zerglings. He's going to try to pick off all these drones. He's picking off Zerglings and drones. There is a Sunken still in here, but he's still picking off drones. Picking at tons of drones going down here. A lot of economic damage from July. So July has done a great job getting a lot of economic damage here to even things out even more while he takes his economic advantage at his natural. July's, interestingly enough, is throwing down his evolution chambers, so it looks like instead of going straight for Spire, he's going to put down some spore colonies to fend off the incoming mutas. I'm not sure if that was actually the best course of action to take. I think he needs to start working towards his Spire now, even though he's not pumping gas. He's not working to Spire yet. He's going to try to get out an even bigger Zergling army here to cause even more economic damage. The mutas are out, though, so Zergling attacks are going to be a little bit less useful here now that they're mutaless out. July is coming in with a huge group of Zerglings here. He's trying to squish through here and just take out even more drones. He's picking off tons of drones here.